Hey YouTube, what's up? It's MrRampro again, and this time I wanted to show my Glock 27, and I've done a couple of videos now. Still not great at it, so I apologize, but it's a work in progress, just a fun little hobby. And I wanted to show this one because I'd done a slight mod to it, and a couple of guys can pick it out already, but you'll see when I tell you about it. This gun, of course, I'm not going to harp on safety, but we do want to follow safety, general guidelines and stuff like that. This is a regular standard Glock 27, and the only major modification that I've done is actually the stippling to the frame itself. And of course, it's polymer frame, and I did this by using a soldering iron. I just got a cheap one from actually I think Harbor Freight or garage sale, something like that. I'm not 100%, but just put the regular tip on. And I do want to recommend that if you do this, I did this on my Glock 22 also, and the first couple of times I went too deep. So I will say that if you're going to experiment and like on a smaller part, magazine well, something like that, like somewhere where you're not really going to see it a bunch, and try to go from there. I did go a little deeper on my first pistol, and I'll do a video of that one also, but it added to this pretty nice texture to it. It's not as rough as sandpaper. It is still fairly smooth. I mean, I didn't want anything abrasive to my skin or anything like that when I was shooting it, but it added overall a pretty nice feature to the pistol, especially with gloves and stuff like that. I wish I had a better quality so you could see it up close, but it really turned out nice, and it is a good option. I've seen a lot of people do it on the Springfields. Those are really popular and stuff like that, the XD series and all that, and I really like it. It's a pretty good feature. I went ahead and did it all the way around the front, down here by the finger grooves and everything, and took my time and just did it slowly. Just put that angle right there to come around these two pins, just to make it look professional, and that's what I wanted in case I ever did decide to get rid of any of my weapons or anything. This pistol would hopefully have better resale or something like that, having a more professional job and all that kind of thing. I skipped the other side of the mag release. I did not do that. I thought about actually changing it to a larger mag release, but in all actuality, as I've used it, I found that it really wasn't that big of a deal. The Glock 27, the 40 cal round, I'm sure a lot of you guys know that the 40 cal round is, I call it a poppy kind of round. I mean, it stings. It's kind of like a 357. And on this small of a frame, it really is kind of hard to control, honestly. And I've tried a couple of different grips and holding it a couple of different ways. And I'll hopefully put up a couple of shooting videos here after a little while. But it's really kind of hard to control the recoil and stuff like that. And this is, it used to be my EDC gun, and it worked really well for that. It is kind of thick. I mean, a lot of people talk about how thick the Glock is, and it is an extremely thick pistol compared to your 1911s and everything like that. And I do like the mag capacity. That's definitely convenient to be able to carry your 9, 10 to 13 rounds. And I say 13 because I don't know if too many people know about this mod at all, but I'll show it. It's pretty cool. This is actually a Glock 23 mag, and it has this little spacer on the bottom you adjust with an Allen key, and I did the stippling on this also, but it really gives you an extra full grip onto the pistol. So for way of comparison here, I do have just the regular +2 Pierce grip, which for the life of me cannot get an extra round into it. It's supposed to take from your 9 to 11 rounds, but I've never been able to get it in past that. There might be a binding with a spring or maybe the base plate or something to get me to the full 11. So I do use it with 10 rounds now, and I don't carry one in the chamber just because I'm kind of wary of the safety and stuff like that. But that is with the Pierce extra grip. It's supposed to be a +2, but it's +1 now. So that looks pretty nice. It fits pretty good, and it gives a good handle for just regular shooting. You can see that my fingers, I don't have extremely large hands or anything. It wraps around. I get pretty good coverage as far as having the real estate for my pinky and all of that kind of thing. It really is pretty nice with this. And when the Glock 23 mag the conversion came about, and I liked it. I kind of jumped at the opportunity and actually bought this from a buddy of mine who owns a gun shop, and he already had this set up for display, and he didn't have any more in stock, so I picked this one up. And I'm sure if you wanted one, you can get on the internet and find one, but it gives you the full Glock 23 pistol grip, and that's actually pretty nice. It is really comfortable. I will say that with the spacing at the bottom here, you can see that little gap, and I've tried to come up with an idea to maybe put something in there, maybe a rubber seal or something, but with that gap there, your hand's going to get pinched a little bit depending on how you're holding the pistol. And I usually shoot with gloves, but you know, like a lot of people, you want to practice the way you're going to carry, and I don't wear gloves, you know, that often at all. I'm in Georgia, and it's not that cold here, so I usually do not wear gloves at all, and that does kind of pinch your pinky and the bottom of your fingers every once in a while. But in a realistic situation with adrenaline pumping and that kind of thing, I don't think that I would honestly notice it. And this is also, you know, your last-ditch effort. You have no other option except for to use your weapon to protect yourself. So this option here with the extra grip really does help out, and I get a 13 round capacity plus 114, so it really is pretty nice. It's a nice option to have. I do like it. You know, like I said, the only thing is the pinching down here, and if you guys have any ideas, just post it, and let me know if you have any other ideas or you see anything else like this on the market. I'd be interested to see what you guys could come up with, or if you guys have any experience with it at all. But other than that, completely stock. I don't use the night sights. I have them on my Glock 22, and it's okay, but I don't shoot in a lot of low light conditions, and it really doesn't bother me to have those. My Glock 22 is not an EDC, so it doesn't really bother me, honestly, if they were there or not. But other than that, this is a really nice pistol. I've never had a malfunction, and I wish I could say, yes, I've had a malfunction with this pistol. It does not live up to the hype, but I've never had one, and I usually shoot Blazer Brass or Winchester White Box, anything cheap, and just to go out and blast rounds. My self-defense rounds, you know, are a little bit different. I actually use the Winchester SXT Rangers, which took the place of the Black Talons. So they're pretty good rounds. I've done a couple of shooting tests with those with ballistics gel, so I'll have to post that video also. And they're really pretty. It's a pretty good pistol overall. And my main thing was just to show the stippling, and it's kind of a brave thing to hop into. I do understand a lot of people are scared to mess up their pistols or anything like that, but if you take your time and you do it right, I mean, it can really turn out to look really nice and add some pretty decent resale value. I know there's a gun shop here in town, and they were charging $125 to do this to your pistol, and to me, paying $525 for a gun and then doing this was just, it was better to do it myself. And the Hogue grip, I have tried that. It actually tore, and I didn't really like that at all. Anyways, it added a lot more chunk to my pistol grip, and this still kept a sleek profile, but gave me a little bit more texture to grab onto to use, because, you know, sweaty hands and stuff like that, they really can play a role in losing positive grip on your weapon and stuff like that. So I don't know, I just wanted to show you guys this. I think it's really neat. If you have any other questions or anything, post, and I'll try to put some pictures up of the in process of doing it. It did take a lot of time to do the entire pistol and all three of my mags, because I have another mag like this. It took me honestly about 6 or 7 hours, and I did it in a couple of groups, you know, just took my time, came back to it, went out, chilled out and all that kind of stuff, and came back to it after a little while. So the option is there to do it. Hopefully you can see this on the bottom of this Pierce mag here, this extension. This lip right here on this Pierce mag, if you do it, I did take and round that edge right there, because it does leave a little bit of a little spike right there, depending on how you do it. So just take your time, figure out what works with you. I didn't sand or do anything, shy from just a basic clean before I did it, but I didn't think that was necessary, honestly. So here's that extension right there, that Pierce grip extension, the logo and everything. You can find these all over the place. And this really is a good mod, and I like it. And as far as accuracy increased or anything like that, I can't say that it did, can't say that it didn't. But I've got some pretty good shots with it. I shot at 100 yards. Didn't hit the target as much as I wanted to, but I got some pretty surprising results with it actually. And that's just the pistol itself. That doesn't have anything to do with me or adding the stippling or anything like that. It's just I was surprised honestly that I could get the pistol that accurate that far. So that's just an option for you guys. And if you have any questions, let me know. Bye.